Welcome back to Han Took Shots First. We're here to talk about episode 4 of Andor, season 2. Ever been to Ghorman? I'm Derrick.
I'm Jack.
I'm the classy alcoholic.
Chut chut.
Houdini.
Welcome back. We're here with a guest, the classy alcoholic, who has joined us before for Andor and Rogue One, and he's been on our other podcast, Bad Movies, Worst People.
.com.
Hey guys, God, it's so good to be back. So good to be talking about this show in particular, and so good to be talking with you two guys because I love you guys.
Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a while. I'm always around. You put up the beer signal, and I'll come in front of any mic and just say stupid shit
with the luchador mask light in the sky, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking of getting in front of a microphone and saying shit, you have a podcast now.
I do, yes. I actually host my own show, which is wild. I never thought I'd do that, but opportunity fell in my lap. It's a show called The Mixed Company Podcast. It is about professional boxing. If you're not a boxing expert, if you want to learn about it, it's actually the perfect show. We don't do it for experts. We do a lot for newbies. Sure, sometimes we get into the weeds, but we try not to do obscure stats or any of that thing. It's a lot of fun, very conversational, like barbershop style conversations about boxing.
Yeah, I gotta say, I haven't been a boxing fan in well over 20 years, maybe more. I caught your first couple episodes and really enjoyed it. I didn't feel out of place.
Thank you. Well, if you like those, we've gotten so much better because I suck shit. I got to admit, I did not know how to host a podcast. So even the pilot episode was terrible. I actively tell people, do not listen to that shit.
Derrick doesn't know anything about that, man. He started this thing, hit the ground running.
Yeah, right. I recently found some old episodes on a hard drive, and I went and listened to a thing, and I was like, God damn, dude. Like some of the first dozen.
Yeah.
Literally
the very first episode, I was like, I don't know how to start this.
Look, you know what? I'll say this, and I genuinely mean this. If you don't look back at your old work and cringe, then it means you haven't grown.
Yeah,
I mean that.
No, that's well said.
We're here to talk about Andor. This is the fourth episode of the second story arc of the second season, or the first episode of the second story arc, fourth episode of the season. There we go.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. And it is directed again by Ariel Kleiman. Remember, we were saying, Jack, that we thought they'd bring him back for the last three because we saw that he had 6.
But it's going to be these 3, it looks like.
Yeah, and written by Bo Wilmon, who, if that name is familiar, it's because he wrote the Narkina 5 arc from the first season.
Oh, yeah.
Also from House of Cards.
Yeah.
Nice. The Narkina 5 is a good story arc, man.
So we had, a controversial moment in the last episode, not our episode, but the episode of Andor, with sexual assault and whatnot. And we brought it up, we talked about it, and we do have a follower, at least one, on YouTube who likes to communicate with us. Christina B3838 is her username, but
from now on you should be known as B38.
I like that. Shout out to Christina.
She had some comments on it, and I figured we should touch on that because as we mentioned while recording that, we are both dudes and don't have there's a different point of view for anything involving sexual assault that is the female point of view. So I'll just read what she said and then we can talk about it, but I just told her I'd mention it. She said, deeper thoughts. The only point I will concede against the sexual assault contingent is Disney should probably put a trigger warning before the episode. I know Andor is already TV-14, but it's not just young kids who may not want to see that sort of scene or need to be mentally prepared for it. I agree with your discourse on the sexual assault scene. I agree with you on most everything you say, with the exception of sex being depicted as very consensual in Star Wars, which was something Jack had said. because she brings up Princess Leia being in a teeny gold bikini and chains and licked was not consensual. I don't think Leia was.
That's a big fact.
Yeah, she said I don't think Leia was graped, but she was definitely perved on. This is also the most kid-friendly movie in the original trilogy that it happens in.
Yeah, at the end of the day, whether she was like actually graped or not, she was fucking forced to wear that tiny skimpy thing in front of a room full of mostly dudes and ruffians. So point to B-38.
Yeah,
and was literally chained up. So yeah, no, I appreciate the other side of this this viewpoint.
And another valid point that is the most kid-friendly of the three. It's like, I'm going to make it for kids, except for that one chick's going to be in a gold bikini with no underwear. There's no underwear in space. There's no paper.
So we have this.
No paper.
We need this gold bikini and chains. Is this for the same movie as the teddy bear costumes, or?
You They're still want to use sexy.
I mean, is this like the birthplace of furries? Somebody looked at that Ewok and was like, "Damn, I could get in there."
That is one sexy little monkey bear.
It's a movie for everybody as long as you're a fucking pervert.
That is one sexy wicket.
Have you ever heard what Carrie Fisher said about that outfit? That because it's sort of the material it kind of juts out. So if anybody stood over her, you could literally see down and see like her nipples and her vagina, like straight. She's just a tiny woman that everybody was taller than her. So he said, if you look down, you can see everything. And I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, there was. I just saw a image today. It's a still, but it's Carrie Fisher like opening her robe and she's wearing the outfit. It's exactly what you're talking about. Like that bottom pelvic piece is not flush with her skin. So yeah,
it's
anybody taller.
It's not a skin tight outfit. Yeah,
and she's I think like 5'1" or 5'2". So yeah, everybody's taller except for maybe Kenny Baker.
So on that note, because I wasn't on the previous episode, I did listen to it, and it seemed like you were both very surprised that the term rape was even used in Star Wars. I was fucking shocked. Yeah. Like my mind was blown that they went there. But I think the thing about this show that works so well is that they are willing to go there and just say and do all the fucked up shit that horrible, terrible people do, and they don't use some kind of like Star Wars term. Oh, he tried to galorp me or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even making light of it. It really is like.
But I'm glad they didn't use a made up word because it might have cheapened it. Like, no, they're trying to spotlight atrocities. A trigger warning. I think our comment was correct. A trigger warning would have helped out, but I'm with Classy.
Sometimes I disagree with the warnings before when like Disney does the one it's like this depicts tobacco use, stuff like that.
Come on.
But tobacco use and sexual assault are two very different things. And
absolutely.
It might have been good to have that before because I mean from the first episode we all saw it coming. I didn't think they were going to go as far as they did, but we saw it coming. So
and a thing that y'all two missed or didn't mention rather I should say, specifically right before it happened, the Imperial guy was threatening Bix with her legal status, which is a wild thing to put in this TV show. He said, hey, look, farmers need, workers, and not everybody's is here legally. I'm flexible. I get it. I can be cool. If you can be cool, you be cool, I'll be cool, right? It was just wild to me that, the things the show does and the real elements from real life that they bring in. I couldn't believe it's a miracle that the show exists.
We brought up the illegal thing a little bit, but I didn't even think about it from that aspect either. Again, another point of view besides two white dudes
threatening your shit. Yeah, exactly. I've never had that come into my fucking life at all. So luckily,
she had another comment that I want to read because it's funny, so we can get that going.
Please.
So. She was like, this is the end of the arc, so I have a lot of thoughts, but my favorite one here that I read from her is, do you think Cinta got rid of Tay by putting on her seatbelt, opening the roof, and corkscrewing the vehicle?
I do now. I mean, if she didn't do that, she really fucked up, man. She had to go like all Tom Cruise inverted style and just dump his drunk ass out.
If she didn't do it, she's a bad assassin because there's fucking blood everywhere. There's trace evidence. It's just like at this point, she's just like a shitty driver. Sure, she'd probably get fired from Space Uber, Spoober.
She loaded his liver with day 3 punch and just turned that thing upside down.
Dude, he tried to climb out. I told him not to. It's weird. It's dangerous. And, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I know
He
I'm
said,
fired. It's cool.
if the Ghormans can't have freedom, I shouldn't have life. And he jumped right out. He yelled day 3 bitches on the way down.
Yeah. Day 3.
How long did he have to yell that until he splatted?
Oh, this was a lot longer of a drop than I fucking remember, dude. I wish I would have brought some day 4 punch. Just to help me on the way down. Something to do on the way down, man.
Oh, and
what's that? Sorry, what's that movie with Sean Connery and Michael Caine? It's The Man Who Would Be King.
The Man Who Would Be King. Yeah.
Yeah, it fell off the cliff. They said he fell for like an hour or something like that. Yeah. That's immediately what I thought of, is take all the falls for an hour.
What a terrible way to kill yourself.
He fucking sobered up on like before he hit the ground. So he wasn't even able to be like, oh, whatever. That's so fucked up.
That's
the worst way to die.
Also, Jack, she did request that we post our recipes for day 1, day 2, and day 3 punch. So we'll have to get on that.
Day 3 punch is just 1 and 2 mixed together. Shit, dude, we could work on some day 3 punch, some 1, 2, and 3 punch.
Putting together a wedding is like really hard. It's everybody's exhausted by day 3. It's like, just mix the leftovers. Who gives a shit? It's like, we're not doing 3 days worth of fucking.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like doing a wedding's hard because you got to find someone willing to marry you.
Well, also, hey, there's a reason there's no rings on these fingers, babe.
That's been my problem.
I think I'm starting with day 3 punch today with 11%.
Yeah,
but
I think you're going day 3, 2, 1.
I do know somebody whose sister actually had a 3-day wedding in Phoenix. Honestly, might have been like 3.5 because I think they went up like Thursday. I don't even.
I mean, if you believe Gogol Bordello, and I do, fucking 3-day weddings are a big thing over in Europe, just not America.
Because we don't get that much time off. This is America.
Exactly.
That's exactly.
You got to get back to work. You took the afternoon off for the wedding, and that's if you're in the wedding.
Yeah, you don't get 3-day punch. You just get nooner margaritas.
Speaking of getting back to work, we should probably get into this episode, huh?
So it is now 3 years BBY. It's been 1 year since the last 3 episodes, and as usual, we'll go through in like story arcs. I do have the last part of the Bix and Andor arc last. I don't know where we want to start, but I figured we start with them.
Yeah.
So we didn't get what planet they're on, right?
I thought it was Coruscant-y, but we didn't actually get a title.
Yeah, no, it felt a little bit Coruscant-y, but it's like low budget Coruscant. It's like if Coruscant was New York, this is like Philadelphia.
Jersey?
It could be Cincinnati. Fair. I mean, it could be. There's so many different like big city planets. It could be none are as big as Coruscant, but like Nar Shaddaa, if you're trying to fucking hide out.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, so
we didn't get a title card. I was looking for it.
We all missed it.
So yeah, she's still having nightmares, but now they involve sleepwalking. And there's basically the big story arc for her in this is like she's haunted, obviously, still by the torture, the screaming baby alien torture, but now it's combined with the fact that her and Andor are responsible for the death of this young soldier, purely because he saw her face, and Cassian wanted to protect her.
I really like that they're still using PTSD 2 years in the timeline after it happened, because it is realistic. You don't just get over that shit.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Breaking Bad when after Jesse has to shoot Gail Bedecker, spoiler, that he's still fucked up for like an entire season afterwards, and they really like milk that. It's realistic. So yes, we're not doing a whole season's worth.
I mean, it's not just PTSD. It's like PTSD from baby alien worm screams. That's a different level of PTSD. You ever had baby worms scream at you? I haven't.
WSSD.
There we go. It's a mouthful.
Scream stress disorder.
But she's also, I feel like this isn't really, so she's into the rebellion obviously now, because of what happened on whatever their planet, Ferrix. But now I feel like this thing with her wanting to like settle in, she's like, we need to buy dishes, we need to buy curtains, like all these things. I feel like it's more like her way of trying to disassociate herself from what they're doing, and also like kind of try to back out, like not back out all the way, but she's like, I regret this because I just want to life.
And a little normalcy would help too, because like it's definitely a flop house, you know, it's a bunkhouse kind of thing, but we don't have to make it look like that. We can get some nice dishes, you know, a little sundress for me. A bowler hat for you.
I think the whole her being like upset about shooting that soldier boy, which first of all, he's got to be an adult, right? He's over whatever the equivalent of 18 is. It didn't ring as true to me because she's seen how fucked up the Empire is. She shot a dude last episode a year ago. It's like, does she really upset about it, or like you said, is she kind of like using that as a way to?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think she's trying to, she wants to find a way out. Like maybe she doesn't know that, but that's what she wants. But also, like, the implication is that he was very young, and she feels horrible about it.
And the death was unnecessary.
Yeah, and
like they could have gotten away.
Well, Cassian keeps saying like he was a soldier, he knew what he was signing up for, et cetera. But
on his
that's
side,
I was gonna say that's Classy's point too. Like, hey, no, and
I'm on, dude. I agree, but also like I think her guilt comes from like, but he didn't actually do anything to us because they have worked with some Imperials at this point. I mean, I can't think of her name, but the other girl from Game of Thrones that was in the first season,
right?
I can't think of her name, but you know who I'm talking about. The Imperial officer that helped them.
Oh, or the opening scene,
or no, it was that. Never mind. I'm thinking of Obi-Wan. That was Obi-Wan.
That was Talia.
Yeah.
But also on the flip side, just to kind of, I am on Classy and Andor's side, but her thought is there are people joining the Empire that don't know they're evil. They're just low-level soldiers. The propaganda is working against everybody. So if you're just this little kid, you're like, fuck yeah, dude, I want to join the Empire, help make this fucking place safe. Because look at all these rebels that are fucking up my day-to-day, even though they're not. And it's for the right reason, but you join up, you're happy to.
Sure, but at this point, they still have guns and can shoot you in the fucking face if they think you're a rebel. Like ACAB includes the Imperial Army. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, and they do address it later that like the crime rates are raising everywhere, which is another way to get people to join your side.
Yeah,
without if they don't see the atrocities you're committing.
Yeah, or that you're making up, like you're making the criminals.
But like all through their thing, like Andor keeps saying they're safe, but then also he doesn't want to go anywhere or be seen by anyone, which is bothering her because they have this thing about they go to the grocery store and he doesn't like that the dude recognized them, even though they haven't been there in a month.
Well, because she's recognizable because she's lovely and charming and whatnot.
Smoking hot babe. Yeah.
Smoking hot babe. But she's also very, like, as soon as she gets there, she's like, hey, and he's over there looking at stuff. Like, I bet you when he goes into his shop, he's eyes down, do not remember me. I want to vanish from your memory the second I walk out of this room. And she's like, all right, we'll see you. Say hi to your wife for me, kind of thing.
When you went to the store, did you see that they had the little like caged alien bird? It's just like a big orange thing in a cage that barely fit it in that grocery store. Did you notice that?
I did,
bro. It was in the top right corner of the screen when with the guy behind the counter. If I went into that grocery store, that motherfucker is about to be an 8-piece. That shit was delicious. And it's like, and it was chunky too. So it's like probably all dark meat, all thighs and drummies. Oh, I was getting hungry.
I will take that big bird and maybe 11 different herbs and spices if you have them back there. Oh wait,
spices.
Spices means something very different in Star Wars. You're gonna get all fucked up eating that bird.
I'll take 11 different herbs and spices. So you're gonna have to meet a guy behind the store for the spices.
11
I've got the herbs.
Spices? Slow down, buddy.
And then there's really only like they just they talk about that a little more with the soldier, but I did like the line, the discussion between them because Andor says he's like, "Hey, people die, like that's what happens," and Bix has that line like, "I wonder if he knew," and Andor's just pisses her off, but like, well, he knows now.
Yeah, he fucked around and he found out.
Yeah.
Little relationship advice too, because I wrote this down. She said, "I'm able to handle more than you think." And Andor says, "Oh, that's why you can't sleep, right? Do not throw a woman's PTSD in her face, you fucking moron!"
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
no, not
just get
not a
over
great
it.
move.
You're just being hysterical,
guys. Bix, there you go.
We've got. Yeah, we've got asylums for that. You're fine.
Yeah, space asylums.
You're being hysterical. I think just a light lobotomy, and we'll all be sleeping a lot better from here on out.
And then we have a bunch of stuff on Ghorman here. I liked where they went with this because we know that Dedra has been assigned to Ghorman, but we start with Cyril Karn, and there's people watching him through the windows. And he's all paranoid. He's putting a little wire on his door to see if anybody opens it while he's gone.
He learned this from living with his mom. Remember, he's like, you went into my stuff. I have ways of knowing.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
You found my space porn.
You feel me, Space Boy? It's all stepmommy stuff.
But speaking of his mom, he goes to work and has like the classic awkward FaceTime with an older person. Like they don't show it, you just hear it, but I can just see her being like, can you see me? Hello?
Mom, move the camera away from your fucking face. Mom, you don't have to get the thing so close to your mouth. I can hear you just fine.
Move the camera away. I look, you need to blow your nose, and also I can hear you.
Stop shaking the camera. I had a lot of grog last night. I'm gonna throw up.
Guys, Cyril's mother is my favorite Star Wars character. Fuck a Han Solo, fuck a Luke Skywalker. She is my favorite character.
She's the scariest looking character.
Yeah, absolutely
terrifying.
She scares the leader of the Ghorman Front.
Dude, they're listening to him, and she is just going, maybe I'll try and remember what you look like. I'll use my memory because I'll never see you again. You moved away from me. She's something else.
You finally found a woman to put up with you when you left her. I'm like, Jesus Christ, lady.
Which, by the way, I didn't buy that shit for one fucking second. I was like, this motherfucker's on special assignment. He's going to try and sew himself to Dedra. Like, that's what's going to happen. He's never going to leave her. He's going to wear her like some skin suit.
Well, she that great blonde
imperial. Oh, yeah, he's a honeypot.
For the Ghorman Front.
Oh, yeah. And like, because, they're listening in. They have his phones tapped. And it's this guy, Rylands, who's in charge of the Ghorman Front. He's been in some stuff. This guy, Richard Samel.
Yeah, I recognize him right away from the Strain or the Strand.
Yeah, the Strain.
Strain.
Yeah, because he was in every episode of that.
Yeah,
that's where I recognized him from.
He's, the head vampire or Strigori, but he's also an ex-Nazi, which he has that look.
Yeah, well, he plays Germans because he's German, clearly. But he's in a bunch of German movies. But also the other thing I saw that I recognized was Inglourious Bastards, and he plays Sergeant Roxman.
Yeah, that was the guy that would not give up, and then got the forehead Nazi swastika thing, I think.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember who that was, but I was like, that's clearly a German. Racth.
I was going through something else, and it just said that his name was Adolf. I was like, well, I'm going to assume that he's playing a Nazi.
There was another show he was on that I've never heard of, but it was called like Faking Hitler or something, and I was like, I want to find out what that is.
Yes, sir.
Is he one of those actors that like played Hitler like 10 times because he's so good at it? Like the guy who played Saddam Hussein in The Big Lebowski was Saddam Hussein in like 5 other movies.
Yeah. Or from a previous episode on Bad Movies, Worst People, there was a guy who played a secret Hitler in a movie we did called Hard Rock Zombies. The only other characters he's played besides Hitler was Hitler and the President of the United States are the only characters he ever played.
Oh, well, you got the performance down. It's like, I got this. It's like, guys, I got this down.
I know how to be a dictator.
He's like, look, let me take off the mustache, President, put on the mustache, Hitler. I got it.
It all depends what degree your elbow's at when you're doing that. No, I'm not going to do it.
Careful, there are visuals now.
We already have enough people in office throwing it around. We don't need people on podcasts doing it too.
The Ghormans are protesting. Their protest is stop the building, stop the Empire, because there was the Tarkin massacre, which was 500 Ghormans, unarmed Ghormans, murdered by our good friend Moff Tarkin.
Grand Moff Willem Tarkin.
Of course his name is Willem. That's why he's such an asshole.
Yeah.
Unless you're Willem Dafoe, that's not a cool name.
I was going to say, Willem Dafoe's probably listening to this like, hey, hold on a minute.
He's the only one that makes...
Willem myself.
I'm something of an asshole myself. He's the only one who makes that name work.
It's true.
But this kid comes up to him and tries to sell him this little toy spider. We already saw he's got a bunch at his apartment. And he's like, I don't fucking want any more of your bullshit. And the guy's like, you know what? It's free. Just go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I can tell you're not a tourist. You know your way. Look at you, so strong. Just walking on those thick legs of yours. Just paying him weird ass compliments. With the buns like that, you can move around this entire city, playboy.
I think it's perfect. This guy, what actor's name? I forget, but Kyle Solar is such an amazing job as Cyril. Like, he's so weaselly that he's the perfect honeybot because Downstairs, the Ghormans are listening, and they tap the phone. Gene Hackman is there, and he's like, "This guy's perfect. Oh, he's great. He's not a real Imperial. He's just a weasel counting spiders." So they think easy mark, but they don't know. They don't fucking know.
Counting Spiders would be a pretty cool alternative band in the Star Wars universe. Mr. Jones and me.
They could do the conversation in Star Wars. Lucas and Coppola are friends, man. He'll give him permission. Yeah. But yeah, he does get home and finds out the door has been opened. So he's like, okay, it's been confirmed. But
he's happy about it. He's like, yes, they took my bait.
Like right after this, he goes to talk to Dedra. And I mean, like you said, it's kind of obvious that he's like honeypot, but he's playing pretty well the actor of just being paranoid. Like, are people watching me? Is that guy looking at me in the mirror and stuff like that? But the thing is, he wants them to watch him because he's trying to become an infiltrator agent for them. So he does go back to the office. These two dudes, and these are like your typical Imperial guards that you see on like menial stations in all these shows. There's like a skinnier older dude with a mustache who's kind of a dick, and then there's just fat guy eating pork rinds and watching pod racing.
Oh man, is this of the Porco family or Porkins family? Are they from like Porktopia? all the pork names come from the same Porkin planet.
It's actually Porkowski, but it was like an Ellis Island Chop Chop, whatever the Ellis Island version of Star Wars has.
I think we made that joke off camera when we were talking about it. Like, well, it was Porkins before he came to this country, but when he got to Alderaan, they made him change it to Porco.
Yeah, it's less ethnic that way.
Alderaan's the Ellis Island of the galaxy.
But he does go and sneak it, like get into the office so he can sneak and make this secret call to Dedra. And this is where we find out he's an agent and he's setting up to go to this meeting so he can meet the leaders of the Ghorman Front. This had to have been written and done filming before the beginning of this year. Yet here we are with this Ghorman Front meeting where people are talking about the new Imperial codes are ruining our businesses. And from what I gather, Imperial codes or Imperial shipping codes is tariffs.
Fucking tariffs, man. Yeah.
It's like they saw it coming last year. I'm like, Tony Gilroy, where were you? Warn people.
Yeah, dude, a little heads up.
if you'll indulge me for just a second here. So, this show is amazing because it is politically charged. It's perfect for the moment that we're in. Talks about, fascism, rebellion, etc. So it'll be really interesting to see how season 2 or the series as a whole stacks up alongside Daredevil Born Again. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that.
I just finished it the other night.
Same thing, like, amazing that this exists. Amazing that these are fucking Disney properties, but they're talking about, police brutality and shit that just like, not to spoil Daredevil for anybody, but if you like politically charged shit that is for this moment, goddamn, that show is amazing. So
way better
not
than
to stack up against each other.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be after such a long break.
Couldn't believe what they were doing on that season. So both of these, I think they're good. They pair well together.
Basically, at this meeting, they're talking about these tariffs and all the stuff that's going on. It's going to crush the economy here because it's a one-product economy, which we learned last time was the Ghorman Twill. The one guy who's arguing is like they're going to make a prison out of Palmo before they're done. They don't know what this building is. It's supposed to be an annex. They don't know that it's an armory, which we learned before. They do suspect, but they don't know.
Yeah, but the guy, the German kind of guy, he's the one. He's like, we don't know anything.
But I do like the one guy. He kind of gives Rylands the middle finger, I'm assuming, and Gore, because he's up there giving his speech, and he's just like, and he kind of smiles at him, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!"
Did you just see that? He just grabbed his forearm at him. Oh my god!
It's probably like this is your mother's ass, and my hand did this to it last night. Everyone's like, "Oh shit!" It's not even allowed.
It's how deep you got inside their mother's ass, right here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how far I was in your mom's ass.
Oh,
fucker.
Gross.
You're really pissed off at somebody. You're going to put your hand on your shoulder.
It's extra gross because the only mother we've seen is Cyril Karn's mom. And she's a great actress, but
you
get your whole forearm up there. That's half her height.
He had his hand so far up me, he was working my mouth like a puppet.
Speaking of puppets, here I am, George Lucas. Anyway,
hey, you're not supposed to be here. You sold the shit. Get out of here.
By the way, have you guys heard all these people online that are always like, well, George Lucas is going to buy it back? I'm like, no, he's not.
Shut the
He
fuck
is
up.
not. Dude, that guy's, how old is he? He's 80, right? Or is
He's
getting
pretty close because
getting up to 80?
Coppola's in his 80s. So
I think when you're in your 80s and you have billions with a B, billions of dollars, you probably don't want to come back to a toxic fan base.
yeah.
Also, the same people that are asking for that, go back and watch episode 2. Like, go back and watch Clone Wars. Or Clone Wars.
Go waste your time and watch episode 3 in the theater.
Hey, we just did.
He knows.
I said that shit.
I mean, it's funny. It was just all the moments that I thought were going to be great and everything else was like, all right, well, how long till we get to that next moment that I'm waiting on?
I told Classy we went and watched it in theaters, and he sent me this picture of Detective Pikachu on 4K in response, and I was like, you cannot judge me.
Detective Pikachu 4K and the Steelbook release. I put out extra for the Steelbook, all right?
I need to pay that extra $10 for Detective Pikachu. Justice Smith is my hero.
Save some pussy for the rest of us.
Ladies love Pokemon, man. Ladies love Pokemon.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Bring a lady over, put on Detective Pikachu, get a bucket.
each 4K copy comes with an extra pair of underwear, just in case you have a date.
Yeah, that's the super limited edition. I'm the only one that pays money for that. It just sits on the shelf. No other
collect them all.
for that. Speaking of George Lucas being 80, yeah, I mean, I just saw The Shrouds, Cronenberg. He's also 80, but look, guys, a Cronenberg movie is very, very different from directing a Star Wars movie at 80. I love Cronenberg. He makes talk movies, you can't have an 80-year-old man coming directing all this shit with the sets and the puppets and the green screen.
Yeah. I feel like Cronenberg does whatever he wants anyway, and he's less concerned with how people feel about it, where George Lucas has taken that shit to heart in the past and probably would again.
Yeah. And I mean, and to be on that, by the way, I really want to go see The Shrouds. I was going to go yesterday, but I just ended up not being able to make it. But, I mean, we've got a couple octogenarians that have put out movies recently that are in the George Lucas class, like the group of filmmakers. That's Coppola did Megalopolis last year, and then Scorsese did Killers of the Flower Moon. But again, I mean, Megalopolis is a lot more CG, but like it's a whole different experience than trying to create this property that you're trying to make resonate with a younger audience. Yeah. Megalopolis and Killers of the Flower Moon don't give a shit about people under 30.
and they were right not to.
Yeah, I don't want to see him come back. Like, I love me some original trilogy, man, but those prequels that he did, that's why we don't need him back.
But yeah, here's the thing: if you would love George Lucas, if you love the prequels and you're an absolute fanboy, let the man fucking rest. Let the man retire. Like, if you really respect the prequels and think they're amazing and better than the originals, let that man go off into the sunset with his wonderful achievement according to you. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Well, I mean, the biggest fans there are like in their 20s still because that's what they grew up with, and they don't understand what it's like to be old yat. We do.
Yeah, that's true.
We do.
Oh yeah, we're washed as fuck here.
We'll get there. But I gotta take me some Metamucil here soon.
So basically, Karn is meeting with the Ghorman Front, and their whole thing at this point, they're obviously trying to bring him in as a spy, a traitor, but right now they're just presenting this as like, hey, we just need you to help make our appeals more effective. We're just looking for Imperial Council. We need to know how we can get our message through that we don't want this monument to be blocked in the shadows of a military structure.
The monument to the people that got killed is going to be covered up by the people that did the killing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a good look.
No.
And they're saying like, we just want peace. We're chill. We're a chill people, etc. And again, shout out to Kyle Solar. I'm going to do it whenever I can. You can't. He's very inscrutable. Like, you think, is he being a little swayed by these people right now? But he's died in the Wool Imperial, but so was fucking Darth Vader, and he had his redemption arc. What are we gonna see? I have no idea what's gonna happen, but that guy's face.
I think
Yeah,
he's
it's
Team
like he'd go
Dedra. That's like I think it's the only thing that matters to him now. It used to be Law and Order, number one first and foremost. Now it's Dedra because she is Law and Order. That's just my take. Is that no matter what she does, he does it as well.
Well, Law and Order don't have sex with him.
Yeah, that's true. They fuck a lot of people though.
He does do a good job though, the actor and the character, of this like pretending to be really nervous that they're even talking to him about rebellion type stuff. Like, because he knows that's why he's there, but he does a really good job of pretending like, oh, I don't know.
That's why he's perfect, because you couldn't have somebody act this way. You just have to be this way.
But so then we go to Coruscant. We have the Muckety Muck meeting here at ISB with all the same people from last time. There's Partagas and
this is such a terrifying room to me.
Yeah.
It's just so sterile and cold, and I'm just like, man, I know if I go in this room, I'm gonna fart. I know it, and it's gonna be the loudest. It's just gonna be like the loudest thing ever. Like, Officer Petty.
It's gonna echo. You know that's just gonna echo in there.
Did you just fart? Try and play it off like, no, it wasn't me. I just have a song stuck in my head. It wasn't my butt.
My phone went off. Sometimes your phone just starts playing music and does that.
My holophone's ringing. It's in my back pocket.
Was that a fart? No, my phone was vibrating.
Is there a Wookiee in this meeting?
Smells like it.
I love the idea here basically is like they're arresting too many people is what we end up finding out, because they've got this these arrests and a bunch of seizures of weapons and whatnot
75
from 10 days ago.
Yeah, 75 banned Imperial banned guns, like weapons.
And they have no information, and Lonnie is the one who speaks up. Lonnie, if you don't remember, or if you're not watching for some weird reason and you're listening to us anyway, was he's the Imperial traitor from season 1 who's working with Luthen. And he's like, hey, I think the problem might be maybe we're arresting too many people. And I was surprised that Partagas was like, that's a good point, versus like, a normal politician would be like, arresting too many. Can you say all those words? Can you say all those words together?
Faster and like stay up, work 18-hour shifts, idiot.
Stupid. No, he hears it as this. He's like, we just need more jails then. That's all.
Yeah, that's true.
I was waiting for like, we're arresting. You're right. Start shooting them on sight.
That might be the thing. He's like, we are arresting too many people. Start with murder from now on. Just go with murder.
Oh, so you're processing them? Are you like having them talk to a lawyer and like having to go, easy peasy, not to worry, I got a perfect solution for that.
Also, it doesn't take that long. We saw Andor get arrested in season 1.
True.
We saw the lady from
but that's the point. But that's the point, though.
But we saw Connor McLeod's wife in season 1, and she was like, yeah, you did it, goodbye. And he's like, no, don't I get a trial? And she's like, yeah, go fuck yourself, get in jail.
But the point being that they missed him. They had him in custody. They had Andor dead to rights. If anybody would have done any diligence, this show would be over. But because they're arresting too many people, they're like, all right, you said your name was this. I'm just going to fucking believe you. I don't actually care what your fucking name is.
What was his name? Carl or something? His fake name?
I'm sure Carl was it.
It was something like that.
Clem.
Yeah, there you go.
It was
Carl.
It was Carl. It was short for Carlos, but like you can't do that shit. It's like, no, it's Carl. Yeah.
Disney's not that woke yet. We can't have a main guy named Carlos.
In this meeting, I wrote this down. Did you notice how Partagas says buffet? He says there's a buffet.
Of course he would.
Oh, he's so British. I mean, he says schedule.
Yeah, but I'm going to start you saying buffet.
His buffet is filled with body parts of people. This guy goes home and just dines on humans.
But like we have this guy, was it Admiral? I don't know. Somebody Hirt, who's the guy he was in last season that was kind of Dedra's in-office foil.
I don't think he'd be an admiral.
I can't remember what they said, but Hirt is the character name. Subtitles, thank you. Basically, he's in charge of the access desk now, and she goes up to him right after the meeting, and she's like, hey, so if you're having trouble processing stuff, there's always somebody around who can help. And he's like, fuck off, you got fired.
You can have all the glory. Like, I just want to help you. And he's like, you ever think that I got to this job because I don't want glory?
Yeah, exactly.
I always love the this part of the show, the like in office bickering, ladder climbing, fighting each other from the season one. It's so interesting and it fits so well, and it you wouldn't think it fits so well, but you know,
Right.
my man, fucking the god Tony Gilroy, shout out to him, makes it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, it's crazy how much stuff in this show works because a lot of it is like that. It's inner office politics, it's politics in general. It's just people sitting around talking.
That should be boring as sin, and it's not. It's fun every time.
There's no action in this episode,
No.
and I was still enthralled the whole time.
Yep.
So,
I,
but yeah,
I was like disappointed when it ended. I'm like, fuck, no, I want more.
her big thing here, Dedra, is that basically she's like, I don't care how you guys do it. I just want you to get access. I want to see results, and I'm here to help. And this guy's like, fuck off. And even he tells Lonnie right after, because Lonnie's pumping for information. He's like, yeah, she's just riding my ass ever since she got demoted, and she feels
Tell
like
me
she's
about
useless, and da 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 da.
Because everybody's thanking him for because everyone was scared to say what he said. So when he finally said it, everyone's like,
guys, yeah.
hey, thank you, by the way, because we were really fucked. And if I said something, I thought I was going to get like, what's force choked without force powers? Choked. I thought I was going to get choked.
And I
was gonna get hand choked.
And I'm wondering the guy that
choking.
the guy that thanked him, whose name I didn't get, the older guy,
the bald guy.
Yeah, I think Lonnie might be setting him up as like an information point because the way he's like, hey, let's talk, but let's talk somewhere else because we know that Lonnie works for Luthen.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that'll become a thing here in the next couple episodes. Because for the people listening, we didn't mention, but we're watching one, recording one, so that we're not sitting here with all the knowledge. I like to speculate, you know?
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't like to lie and pretend that I don't know what's going to happen in the next one, so I appreciate this.
Unlike Cyril Karn, man, I can't fucking act that well.
The other thing on Coruscant, we get a quick moment with Mon Mothma. Basically, she's just trying to butter up everybody, trying to beg for votes. Basically,
it's
is what
showing the futility of it all, dude. Like it is, every one of these people has an excuse, ranging from I don't care, I don't need the Emperor mad at me, I was bought to vote against you. Like not one, even this guy she's talking to, she's like, dude, I helped. There's a blockade on your fucking planet, and I got all the votes to get that fucking thing taken away. Now what?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't help you, dude. Sorry.
The Emperor's going to threaten my federal funding.
Yeah,
I go against it.
Yeah, exactly.
My federal funding to my state, and then we're going to cut off space Medicaid. Like, Jesus Christ!
and that guy Dazzy
back to Cade.
Back to Cade.
Back to Cade. Oh.
You have to hit 65 to get on Back to Care, though. But this guy Dossie, he's basically the senator for Ghorman. So the law she's trying to fight against, or the bill, is something called PORD, which I don't know if we got that last season, and I don't remember it. But basically, it's like, I'm gonna say it's like kind of like speaking of Daredevil earlier, the Safer Streets Initiative is kind of the vibe I got.
It might be something from last season when they just talked about cracking down on everything. I can't remember it now though.
Because her big thing is like, dude, crime is up everywhere. It's 38% on Ghorman, 19% on this planet, 18% on this planet. Like, there's something going on, and these are the numbers that the Emperor is showing us, not necessarily the real numbers.
Right.
This show is talking about juking fucking crime stats like The Wire. It's incredible. Like I just can't get over it. Like an entire scene about crime stat numbers and how it affects politics.
Yeah, and all these guys are either like, yeah, I don't give a shit, or, you know, I can't go against the Emperor, or the people who are really buying into the propaganda, like the people she's talking to next to that little reflecting pool thing, where it's like, well, that's different. You're confusing politics with criminality. Yeah. And it's like, are we pursuing the criminals? Or are we making them? You know, it's a kind of a deep thing there.
And we learn later on in this universe, like in is it Mando or Ahsoka? It doesn't matter. These rich legislators and whatnot, and all the other what do you call them, like lobbyists, they don't fucking care who's in charge as long as they're making money. We see it in Obi-Wan as well when Jimmy Smith's character is like, let's talk about these. Like, let's not, dude. I'm actually making money with this Emperor in charge.
Yeah, that's the one I thought of, was that other politician Jimmy Smits was talking to.
The thing about, crime rates, if crime rates go up and then, arrests go up to stop all the criminals, if you just arrest more people for bullshit, then yeah, you could absolutely claim that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're arresting people for literally anything.
Yep.
Like, what's that in your hand? This is a gear. I'm a clockmaker. Well, it looks a lot like the Rebel logo, so I guess it's the Imperial logo that's a gear. But you know where I was going with that.
I see that gear that you have there. You say you're a clockmaker. What I heard was bomb maker, and now you're in jail. K2SO, get him.
Why is that gear cracked? Are you saying the Emperor should crack?
Are you saying the Empire's weak?
No, it just broke in the clock. We're gonna kill you.
And then they say that they arrested a crack user. They shot a crack user. It's all over the fucking news.
Lonnie goes down and has another meeting with Luthen. Basically lets him know that he's figured out that Dedra is running Ghorman, but nobody knows why. Like, he tells Luthen, he's like, you're probably one of 3 people in this entire city who knows the information I'm giving you.
It boggles Luthen. He's like, what? She's a fucking hunter killer. No, she's not a fucking propaganda person. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the smear campaign is not an end game move; it's a starting move.
Yep.
So they're trying to figure out what's going on there, and it ends with basically like, it's been 3 months since I've seen you, and he's like, don't wait that long next time. And he's like, you used to tell me to wait.
Yeah, you told me to wait. He's like, those days are gone, dude.
Yeah,
we need dailies.
Shit's kicked into high gear now, which works really well for, again, kind of showing you where the story is, like where we are in the world of this show.
Yeah.
And we have a scene on this planet Dakar. There's two tubes.
Noir, yeah.
Oh, I have a divan.
There's two tubes.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the Tubes brothers, I was like, oh, we're gonna see Saw Gerrera. We're gonna see Saw. By the way, we're gonna see Saw.
We're gonna see Saw Gerrera.
I saw it. It was great.
So this is where we got our update on Wilmon and where he's been. He's working with a different part of the rebellion. He's building shit, and in this case, he builds this engine of some sort for Saw Gerrera.
I thought it was going to be a bomb. It turns out it's some sort of fuel siphon.
Yeah, it'll steal the rhydonium, which is a fuel. In the way they mention it, they say something about tapping into lines and stuff, so they can take it basically from Imperial lines versus having to try to find it and buy it.
Yeah. Wait, rhydonium, I want to say that's the material that Bill Burr and Mandalorian were transporting in season 2 of Mandalorian. I could be wrong, but I think that was that. It's like highly explosive, and which is something Saul starts going into here. How dangerous this whole fucking thing is.
Yeah, you want to transport this thing? Be very careful with it, because it's gonna blow your ass up.
Okay, come on, guy. Don't go too fast. Calm it down.
I'll smack you upside the head like my wife smacks me upside the head when I talk back.
Oh, who's being rude?
Yeah, so I pulled it up on the Wikipedia, and yeah, apparently there's some stuff in the Clone Wars and whatnot. But yeah, that is one of the episodes in season 2 there's one in season 2 with Bill Burr, Gina Carano. Yeah. So the Believer,
his face. It's actually the best fucking stormtrooper arc in Star Wars, hands down.
Oh, the one that, I mean, it kind of confused me. The one where he takes off. We'll talk about it soon because we're getting to the Mandalorian this summer. But like when he has to like take off his mask to scan his face and it still works. It's like, we just need to see that you have a face.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be in the system. We just need to know you have a face.
It's just to make sure he's not a wanted man.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Or some kind of weird fucking alien creature.
It's a cuteness check. And it's scanned. It's like, damn, he's cute. Let him go.
Damn.
Get in here. Get all this info.
Classy has a good point, because you've talked, Jack, about how the Empire does not like aliens.
That's
so
true.
Like, let's scan your face. Human, you're good to go.
Human.
Whatever, man. We'll take it.
Yeah. Are you on our side? Doesn't matter. You're human.
But we do get Saw Gerrera here, Forrest Whitaker.
Welcome back.
Who, like, he comes in and it's like, who taught you this? I'm not allowed to tell you. He's got this engine. It's got 8 configurations or whatever for stealing
variations.
Shit. He thinks he's there to just drop it off, but Saw Gerrera is like, "No, you're fucking staying here until we're done.
This is your student."
Pluty. I wrote down Pluty because he looks a lot like Ebon Moss Backrack from last season, who was on the Aldani heist. To the point where I was like, "Oh, he came onto the show." Wait a second, no, that's not him.
Yeah.
I do like. Basically, we learned that Saw Gerrera likes the smell of gas.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you're like me.
In the morning.
You love the smell of it. You breathe it deeply, but it burns you from the inside.
Skin falling off, blisters, worth it. Smelling like
Smell of gas. Also smell of bleach. I put a lot of bleach in a little bit of water when I'm mopping. I've had people like that. Have you had people that say they actually like that strong smell of like bleach and gasoline? Like I've heard multiple people say like, yeah.
I've heard gasoline more than bleach, I would say.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you are, I guess. The strong smell of bleach can instill confidence that the place is clean, even if it's not.
Or it's a fucking a rush job. He's bleached everything right before I came in. I would rather smell Fabulosa.
Oh, but I just put Fabuloso in a bucket and leave it out so that people think I actually mopped it.
And then we end the episode back with Bix and Andor. Basically, Cassian meets up with Luthen, and he's given a new mission to go to Ghorman and assess this Ryland's character, but he has to go alone, and that's kind of the sticking point for him for about 8 seconds.
He's like, I haven't fucking agreed to it yet.
She's too hot.
Yeah.
she's too noticeable. She's hot as fuck. Do not bring Bix.
Yeah, everyone remembers Bix. Have you seen her?
You're a handsome fellow, don't get me wrong, but also you're more like an salt of the earth quality. You're like a handsome guy you would see like at the grocery store, like on the bus kind of a thing.
I wish Bix would get up to here on me, all the way up in there. She's got little hands. I bet she can really get in there.
He goes back and presumably tells her. He ends up taking the mission, but there's this scene, and I know it's sweet and it's fine.
I hate
this weird hand stuff thing where they're just sitting there like rubbing each other. Are they putting lotion on each other? Like
I would rather watch Demolition Man style fucking.
There's not enough hunka chunka in the show. I agree. I gotta say that's a complaint I had from the first 3 episodes. Like
not enough hunka chunka.
I wish the show was a little bit hornier. Yeah, just slightly bit hornier. It's like it's the horniest Star Wars has ever gotten, I think, but it's still come on.
Oh, not even maybe. Yeah, not even
true. Yeah, exactly.
Not even maybe, man. This show fucks. Sometimes it's non-consensual, but this show fucks.
The only time Star Wars has been hornier is on DeviantArt.
Even at the beginning of the episode, when Bix gets up sleepwalking, she's sleeping next to Andor, which I was thinking like, did we see Padme sleeping next to Anakin ever?
We did.
We did.
I can tell you because we just watched episode 3 in the theater.
Okay.
He wakes up all sweaty in a nightmare. That's the sexiest Star Wars had been.
I did think it was funny.
He was sweaty. Yeah.
I didn't think about it until we were watching it, though. He sits up shirtless, sweaty, nightmare. Then they cut to Padme sleeping next to him. Still has that dress with the weird beaded necklace on it while she's sleeping. And I'm like, you can't sleep in beads.
That's not comfortable.
That's a space pearl necklace.
Oh, it was just coded. It was coded messages that he gave her a pearl necklace. Got it.
Space comes a little different than ours.
But yeah, he takes off to go on the mission.
If you drink enough blue milk.
Well, speaking of blue, we see Bix sitting here licking a blue tube, which I mean is doing it for me, but also I'm not 100% sure what this was, but it's clearly some kind of drugs.
It's their opium, right? It's a tincture of
because other thing drugs. I couldn't believe that if this is where they're going, we don't know that she's becoming a drug addict to deal with her PTSD. Are you fucking kidding me? Like this is amazing.
It's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit for Star Wars.
And they even make her look a bit haggard. She got bags under her eyes. Her hair is, she's still fucking hot as shit.
I know.
Haggard, quote unquote. But
I know. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to try and she's all that her?
Yeah, they put glasses on her.
Yeah, she started doing drugs, so now she wears glasses and puts her hair up.
Look at this meth head in jean overalls.
Oh, she looks ugly with jean overalls and glasses and her hair up. Ugh.
She's an artist? Gross.
Is that a scrunchie?
But yeah, I mean, she does a good job here because you see, like, she's looking out the window, looking worried, wide-eyed, and she licks this blue tube or whatever happens.
I
and
mean,
you
we've
just
had
slowly see her eyes closing. Whitney's sitting on the couch. She said it's a dropper. I was waiting for that, but I didn't see anything come out of it, so I didn't know what was going on exactly.
spice
But
dropper.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that it was looked specifically like a dropper. I would
yeah,
have. That's what I would have described it as. Yeah. So I know we're getting close to finishing here, but I realized after episode 3 that after Brasso died, I feel like the big beats of this season are going to be watching all the people that are in Rogue One die. Like that's what's this season is going to be about.
I feel that
it's freaking me the fuck out, man. I mean, we already lost Brasso and B2 Emo, R.I.P. I mean, I hope he doesn't come back. To be honest, for the quality of the show, there's no reason why they would go back to get him, even though I love that little bot. I'm stressing. I got to be honest about what this season's gonna be like.
I have a feeling they'll bring B2 back just because it'll help them sell toys. But like,
True.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a valid point.
I don't know. I feel like we've got people in position. We know that Cassian won't die, but
Mon Mothma can't die.
Yeah, but we've got both Wilmon and Bix in position to not make it out of this 3-episode arc.
Yeah, right. Luthen's gonna be the last one to die, I think, and it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
I think just with what Bix is doing and how she's feeling and the whole like push and pull, I think it sets her up to have a tragic ending. Yeah, within these 3 episodes, and oh boy,
hold on.
Yeah, and I mean it might be. I feel like maybe they save that because it's the more dramatic one for like the 3rd arc. But either way, we've got them both in position to not be doing well at the end of this. One of them will be dead, and one of them will be a strung out drug addict. That's right. I'm predicting that Wilmon doesn't make it out of this one.
Yeah, well, he's with Saw Gerrera, man. That's a rough thing.
Yeah, being held prisoner by Saw Gerrera.
You will be teaching. Bring some candy bars like Michelle Pfeiffer. Dangerous Minds. Coolio spitting out bangers. Even my mama thinks that my mind is gone.
Karaoke Gangsta's Paradise every weekend here at the car.
Did you hear the parody? Amish Paradise, also a banger.
Fucking Forrest Whitaker. I'm 53 now. Will I live to see 54?
It's a rough 5-3.
Another thing that could potentially happen with Bix, we don't know. We haven't watched anything else. Maybe they just split up and Andor says, like, this life isn't for you. Go to an outer rim territory, live the rest of your life and just do your thing. And she just lives, but just is completely out of his life and the story. And, how his arc ends. So maybe.
Only way she has room for a happy ending is getting away from Andor. That's it.
Right.
Like permanent.
Yeah, it's like Better Call Saul now. The show is compared to all these other amazing shows that have come before.
And every one that you've said, they're all great, but they're all very gritty too.
Yeah. So that's it for this episode. We'll be back shortly for us, and a day or two for you guys with the next episode. I Have Friends Everywhere.
Lucky.
The title. That's the title, not me. I have 3 friends, and they're all in this chat.
Your all friends are all here right now.
Well, 3 friends, including my wife, who's on the couch. But yeah, that's it. So we'll be back shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in. Classy, do you want to talk about your podcast one more time, or do you want to save it for next episode?
No, yeah, I'll say it every fucking episode.
Go for
it. First of all, follow me, The Classy Alcoholic, on Instagram and Blue Sky. The Mixed Company Podcast. We're on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. You don't have to listen, but you have to subscribe, and you just listen like 10 minutes, like on super fast speed, just to get the listen in. Juke the stats up. That's all I ask of y'all. I'm not asking a lot. Also, leave a 5-star review. Okay, maybe I am asking a lot.
No, we ask for much more, so you're still fine.
All right.
Actually, You know what? Leave us a 5-star review too.
See, we're just piggybacking on it.
Yeah, Hot Took Shots first, a 5-star review, and Bad Movies Worst People 5-star review wherever you get podcasts.
Badmoviesworstpeople.com. I've been Derrick.
I'm Jack.
I'm the Classy Alcoholic.